Navabhuktim Vidhema. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Then we have a quick summary of the entire Upanishad that we have done. Is the question that we all have conflicts in life, and stresses have started mounting up with the tremendous results, and Upanishads, and S-VYASA Upanishad in particular. So we have seen that Vedas have two parts, that is Uttaramimamsa and Puramimamsa, and this is the knowledge base of the East. The Vedas are the treasure house of our knowledge, and Vedas have no beginning. They contain eternal spiritual laws discovered by the sages, and preservation of the Vedas have been there for thousands and thousands of years by a very special Vedic chanting technology, Pada, Krama, Jata and Dhana. These are based on the principle of redundancy we have seen. You all are familiar with the four Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samveda, Atharvaveda, but there is another classification called Puramimamsa and Uttaramimamsa. Puramimamsa deals with Karma Kanda and Upasana Kanda, which deal essentially with the rituals, yajnas, yagas, savanas, pujas, tapas, etc. They call them the technology of the Vedas. But the Jnana Kanda, or the Uttaramimamsa, deals with the science of the Vedas. These are all the Upanishads. In the Upanishads, we deal with all these things. While there are thousands of Upanishads, 800 available in press, print, 10 major Upanishads are considered to be the Dashopanishads most important. Isha, Kena, Katha, Mundaka, Mandukya, Aitreya, Taittiriya, Prashna, Chandogya, Brihadaranyaka. Brihadaranyaka the biggest, Mandukya the smallest. And what is the subject matter of the Upanishads? There are two main topics. One is search for reality, another is quest for happiness. The methodology of modern science and Upanishads match in most aspects. For example, the goals of modern science and Upanishads are same, search for reality. Is there a fundamental reality from where this whole universe has come? And Upanishads also dealt with happiness. What is it that we call as happiness? Can we get at the highest happiness, infinite happiness, unending, unfailing happiness? These are the two topics we see. While modern science investigated outside in the labs, Upanishads investigated inside. The external labs and the Upanishads internal labs. Modern science over 400 years completed the understanding of the whole physical world. Are you able to hear me, all of you?
Near Guruji.
Good. While the Upanishads completed the search fully thousands of years back. So, Upanishads have searched for happiness, quest for reality. Therefore, when we study any Upanishad, we should recognize these two aspects, how they have been knit into the Upanishads very nicely in each Upanishad.
Yes.
So in S-VYASA Upanishad, the first two sentences reveal these two aspects. So look at that. Ishavasya vidagum sarvam yatkincha jagatyan jagat. Whatever is there in the world, jagat, it's all covered, is pervaded by Isha. That is the search for reality we see. Therefore, in search of reality, what is the ultimate thing that has been said? Idam sarvam Ishavasyam. All that pervades is Isha, pure consciousness. And creation is the one that which goes on changing and changing and changing. Jagatyan Jagat. That which goes on changing is called Jagat. That is bound by space, time and causation. Whereas pure consciousness is beyond that. So in search of reality, the modern science started 4 centuries back, and we have understood today everything about the physical world, made out of molecules, molecules made out of atoms, atoms made of protons, neutrons, electrons, fundamental particles. And what are they made out of? Quarks, packets of energy. So everything in the physical world is nothing but energy, we have understood. And you can calculate how much of energy is in given matter, equals MC square. And we also understood the laws of this entire physical world, Newton's laws of motion, normal speeds. It's known as deterministic approach, classical mechanics. Everything is determined. If I leave an object after 1 second, it's going to be down by 32 feet. If I launch a rocket, it's going to reach the moon. You can track the entire trajectory every millisecond. When we go to extremely high speeds, then the deterministic approach will not hold. We have to go to higher law called quantum mechanics, probabilistic mechanics. And therefore we have understood everything about the physical universe, the structure and the laws that govern them. Therefore anything physical we have been a big success. Putting man on the moon, building skyscrapers, underwater tunnels, information technology, infectious and contagious diseases and so on. And big success in the physical world. Modern science has understood the structure of the physical universe. That Upanishad gave me the direction. How can it be? So this great scientist of the modern science. So all of you have heard the story of the 4 wives. Anybody who has not heard? Okay. So quickly I'm going to. There were 4 wives to a rich man, and the 4th wife he loved the most. He spent all his time and energy adorned her with robes. 3rd wife is very proud of her because she is the most beautiful, most enchanting, and a great pure. The merchant always had a fear in his mind what is going to happen. Probably she may get and cast him emperor. 2nd wife is a very considerate person. Whenever the merchant faced some problem, he always turned to his 2nd wife, and there she goes, giving the solution. Always she is a success. The 1st wife is a very loyal partner. She made great contributions in maintaining his wealth and business toward it. The day came when he thought, oh, I had 4 wives to take care of me. What is going to happen when I die? I don't know. I go to some other place where nobody will be there to take care of me. Therefore, what to be done, what is to be done. So he thought a brilliant idea. And called the 4th wife. Come. Dear, I loved you so much. Now I am going to a new place. There will be nobody to take care of me. Why don't you come and join? He says, so you are dying, you want me to die? Get lost. She walked away. A big hit of the merchant. Then for the 3rd wife he says, oh dear, see, I have introduced you to all the big persons, VIPs and others here, and I have been using you as a wonderful ambassador. Now I'm going to super space, where there will be super VIPs. Come on, join me. And we'll have a new turn of our life. He says, I'm not a fool. A bird in hand is worth 2 in the bush. I'm only waiting for that moment for you to die. Already I have fixed up my emperor there, whom he never looked at, never did anything for her. He felt so ashamed, so cut up. And the story of the 4 wives. Question is, who is the person and who are the 4 wives? They all have 4 wives. Each one of us represents merchant and a king. The 4th wife is our own body that we love the most. And the 3rd wife, all our possessions. Look at my beautiful house, status, wealth and others. And when I what's going to happen? All this is going to go to someone else. The 3rd wife is going to marry someone else. 2nd wife, our family and friends. How long can they take care of us? As long as they're alive. Once we die, what can do? They can carry our dead body to the grave. We're all changed. By the time we came here, we're all changed. By the time we came here, all our bodies have changed. What to talk about the mind, emotions, intellect, everything changing. That's why it's called as Jagat. Jagatyan Jagat. And there is an unchanging entity called Self. At the base of all changing, we have that. So, in Buddhism, they said, what is that? The world is continuously changing, changing, changing. There's a great philosopher, and he said that this entire world is changing around a beautiful mathematical model of excellence. And everybody appreciated his grand thesis that he wrote, became the order of the day. That's called the Kshanikavada. But sometimes there is a brilliant student, Nagarjuna, and he said, sir, if everything is changing, is there something that does not change? He asked. He had no answer. But the later group who came, they said, it is a zero, it is Shunyavada. Therefore we had Kshanikavada and Shunyavada as the two things. Then when Shankaracharya came, he said, how this fantastic world can come out of a zero? Not possible. That also should be infinite. So, Purnavadaha, that should be full. Purnavidam, this world, this entire Jagat comes out of that infinite, said. When that comes out of that, what happens to that? Will it become a zero? We know that x minus x is zero. Will it become a zero? No. That is the law of the finite universe. Infinity minus infinity can be infinity. Purnasya purnam adaya purnameva avasishyate. That remains untouched. That's our original state. That's what we all are. So, the Upanishad says, Ishavasya sarvam yatkincha jagatyan jagat. That which pervades the whole creation is that pure consciousness. Just like the modern science understood this entire physical world out of the prana. And that pervades the prana is that pure consciousness. That is the first conclusion of the Upanishad. So Upanishad tells the root cause, the whole universe is pervaded by the pure consciousness. Then we come to the second point. Tena tyaktena bhunjitha, magudana tyaktena bhunjitha. You have to go getting already 1 lakh per month, you're not happy. You want 2 lakh, you want 10 lakh, you want a 1 crore. Go on increasing. Why? You think more the money you have, more the happiness. So we are all in quest of more and more happiness. All our involuntary actions, avoid the misery, avoid the dukkha, avoid the death. That's what is happening. But we never analyze what is happiness. Though we're in the age of science and technology, where we question everything. Upanishad says, please analyze. So, we have only assumed that sukha is in the objects of enjoyment because it's our normal experience. When you have a nice cup of your coffee, you're so happy. You have a nice gulab jamun, you're extremely happy. Left, why should fall down? That question occurred to only a brilliant mind like Newton. So Upanishad tells, please question. Just because your usual experience is happiness in objects of enjoyment, it may not be the truth. So, not only individuals, but the whole world has made this big mistake of thinking that everything is in objects of enjoyment. The whole United States, when they migrated from Europe, their main objective is we should have plenty of money. It's not food, shelter, clothing that we want. Everybody should have enough money to enjoy. And they have been able to achieve economic superpower they became. But has it brought happiness? Far away from that. So, Upanishad, please analyze. Simple, very simple experiment. Result, let's say the Bengali, he loves Rasagulla. First Rasagulla is so happy, wonderful. Then you say, okay, second Rasagulla, good. Third, okay. Fourth, enough. But some people have more capacity, We had one of our friends. His limit was 30 Rasgullas. And then we said, okay, now you're finished 30. I want to eat 2 more. Very difficult, he gulped it. 3 more. Started vomiting. Law of diminishing return. Still we say yoga is in objects of enjoyment. Simple example shows it is not in that. Varies from person to person. What you like, she doesn't like. What she likes, you do not like. Varies. Some people like gulab jamun, pal payasam and sweet. Somebody says, no, I don't like sweet at all. It varies from community to community. In the Maharashtra, Shrikhand is so wonderful. In Tamil Nadu, people say, a peculiar combination of sweet and sour. No, we don't like. Some praises you and you are very happy. And you get a news of getting first rank in an exam. There is no Vishay Sambhoga. Still you are very happy. What do they all this show? Everything is not in objects of enjoyment. But a brilliant student once questioned me. Okay, sir, what you see is general, but don't generalize. What about the first gulab jamun that I eat? First rasgulla I eat? Therefore, let us say happiness is in that first object, first piece. That's a very brilliant question. Then I remember something was happening here. A big accident took place near Banerghatta. And two boys were just going. And the big truck fell. First accident. 8 people died on spot. The boy who was just walking, he got crushed. Other person just ran away. His name was Hari. Oh, he was very, very upset. For no fault, we lost my closest friend. And worrying whole night he was not able to get. And in the morning he got a knock on his door. He opens, his very, very close friend, Narayana, who had come from Jigni. And he had brought very nice packet. Come on, Hari. I know you love this Dharwad peda, no special peda. Please take, enjoy. You know why? Yesterday I got SLC result and I passed it. In our villages, getting pass of SLC was a big job. And he was very happy he brought. Normally, Hari would have eaten 5-6 things very easily. No, I don't know. You know what happened yesterday? Worst thing that happened, come see the blood coming out of that. We're very close, Krishna is no more. Even that Doodh peda which he would have loved to eat fails. Depends on the mood. So it shows that Sukha is inside, not outside. You have seen. But we all are searching outside. And therefore, please change. Go deeper. If happiness is not in outside objects, where is it? It's inside means what is that inner state? So you read a storybook, very interesting movie, and your mind is in full concentration. Then can we say that happiness is in concentration? Happiness is concentration. Second analysis. So you put the litmus test, increase your concentration time. You are fully in concentration for half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. What is going to happen? All intellectuals, and they are doing up to 1 hour, they want to take a cup of coffee or a tea or a smoke. Why? You get fatigued. So happiness is also not inconsiderate. It follows the law of diminishing returns. Then what is it? You have to go deeper. How Newton asked that wonderful question you have to ask. So when you slow down, often you get into the deeper understanding. I always loved watching this floor gymnastics, the Olympics and others. How they come, they jump and come down. So beautiful. You marvel at their capacity of jumping 5 feet, 10 feet, coming down. And on that day, the judges, for the first girl, they gave only 4 marks out of 10. For the second girl, they gave 9. The third girl, she got 6. Everybody appeared to be so good, so wonderful. Then they show a slow playback, thanks to TV and others. What is happening? The first girl is coming, she's all tensed up, she's jumping. 8 feet she jumps, and she's all in doldrums. And when she comes, she's totally imbalanced. Right leg comes, and the leg comes, and she is unable to control and imbalance. The second comes smoothly and jumps and beautifully lands like a plane. 9 marks. So when you slow down, you understand the secret behind it. Slow playback. Therefore, let us say that the Maharashtrian friend Shrikant loves, and you completely take a movie of that, you know, and slow down slowly. You know. The person is taking chicken prepared so nicely and put it into the mouth, and goes, what is happening? When the chicken comes in touch with the tongue, Vishayi Sambhoga occurs, and the mind becomes obliterated. The touch of the dish with the taste buds, something mysterious happens in the mind. All thoughts vanish. State of silence. Silence in the mind occurs. Therefore, it's a wonderful experience. Silence is bliss. Or when you are in the wonderful scenario of an ocean, your mind is fully absorbed in that. What is happening? The mind has become silent. Wonderful music. Therefore, the bliss is silence. Silence is peace. Peace is bliss. That's the conclusion. Therefore, next question our student asks, sir, what about my litmus test? If I stay in that silence for longer and longer duration, what is going to happen? Whether the sukha is going to increase or decrease? We don't know, because we don't know how to stay in that silence longer and longer. Therefore, let us see what the seers say about it. Great people who are able to stay longer and longer. They say that as you stay longer and longer in silence, the happiness increases. And it goes exponentially up, not diminishing returns. Not only happiness is felt in the head, but the whole body gets transformed. A metamorphic transformation occurs, and you are a changed person. That's the thing that happens, they say. Therefore, the conclusion of the Upanishad is silence is bliss, bliss is peace, peace is silence. You all struggle hard for a degree, For what? To get a job, to earn the more money. But here is the secret of the highest gain. Please conduct this experiment when you are here. Stay in that silence, get this thing, and get into the level of samadhi which I mentioned yesterday, a glimpse of that. That will change you, transform you, ennoble you, and divinize you. This is what you all have to do in these things. So realize the truth of the Upanishads, that is infinite silence. Therefore, it is telling that in quest of reality and happiness, happiness is to go beyond the sense pleasures. Don't get only enslaved and stuck with only the sense pleasures. But find out when you have this, how the mind goes into that bliss silence wonderfully. Having said that, the two conclusions. Happiness is nothing but that state of bliss, peace, and silence. Search of reality, everything comes from that silence. Silence is the abode of all the world. Silence is the abode of all bliss. Therefore, Isha, the pure consciousness, is infinite bliss, infinite knowledge, infinite power, infinite freedom. That's what we all are. Therefore, Swami Vivekananda said, each soul is potentially divine. We all have that divinity. That's our original state. It's common to all of us. It is Parama Atma. It's called Brahman, pure consciousness. Having said that, the Upanishad tells how to achieve that. How to move towards it, how to manifest the divinity. Swami Vivekananda gave the 4 streams of yoga: Jnana Yoga, Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga. So, Upanishad Isha talks more about the secret of Karma Yoga. So, in the next verse, it says, the Upanishad tells, Kurvanneveha karmani jijivishet shatagum samaha evam toinamnyathe na karma lipyate nare. Says that you can't doing action, karma, the way it has been prescribed in the Shastras. Performing every action as your duty. And 100 years you live happily, wonderfully, and that takes you to the goal. And you have no other choice. There is no other method of doing that, it says. Do all actions as prescribed in the Shastras, that the Karma Kanda rituals in earlier time. and enjoy the life for 100 years. There is no other way to perform action than in this way itself. Question comes, if ultimately silence is bliss, why should we do action? If you are doing 100 actions, you must make 50, make it 10, make it 5, make it 1, and stop. You must relinquish action. Instead of that, Krishna is telling and Upanishad is telling about do action. Is it not wrong? So Krishna says, answers in his Bhagavad Gita. Without starting action, by relinquishing action, you cannot reach non-action. And you cannot remain quiet even single moment. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatatishtati akarma krita. Because we are all bound by our gunas. Sarvaha prakurijaihi gunaihi. So we cannot sit quiet, says. Because we are all made up of three gunas, which I mentioned. Tamas, Rajas and Sattva. Depending on the predominance of one guna, you do the actions in different way. You cannot sit. What are all the aspects of this tamas we saw? Anubandham, kshayam, himsam, anapekshata paurusham, mohadarabhyate karma, yattama samuchyate. Delusion, confusion, binding, violence, too much of energy wastage, all that. While in Rajas, you become very intelligent, fast, wonderful. Yattu kamepsuna karma, sahankarena va punaha, kriyate bhulayasam, tadrajasamudahritam. And result of tamas and rasic action, fatigue, stress-based NCDs in life. And what happens after death? Go into this. Asuryanamate lokaha andhena tamasa vrutaha agumste pretyabhigachanti ekechatmahano janaha. Said. Demonical are the called those worlds that are covered by blindness and by darkness. The self-layers having departed approach them. So, don't get guided predominantly by tamas and rajas. Then you are going to go to those called as the hell. Don't aspire to get or steal wealth of others. Earn the right royal way. Magruda kasyas vidhanam. And go sattvic more and more. Share, serve, and reduce your wants. That's what the sattvic actions is. Niyatam, sangarahitam, aragadveshadakrutam, aparaprepsuna karma, yat tat sattvika muchyate, said. So sattvic action are prescribed in all our religions. Patanjali gives Yama and Niyama, the 10 commandments of Christ. Manudharma also talks about it. All these things can be put into 3, Dana, Daya, and Dhamma, which I told. Compassion, charity, and self-restraint. So Vivekananda further condensed it. Renunciation and service are the 10 ideals of India, he said. Look at the 10 commandments, Manudharma Shastra. Patanjali's Ahimsa, Satyaste, Brahmacharya, Parigraha, Yamaha, Shaucha, Santosh, Tapas, Swadhyaya, Ishvara, Pranidhana, and Niyamaha. They are from the 10 commandments of Patanjali. So, Dana, Daya, Dhamma, which I mentioned are the 3 main things. Dhruti, Kshama, Dapo, Asteyam, Shautam, Indriya Rakshanam, Dhihi, Vidya, Satyam, Akrodaha, Darshakam, Dharma Rakshanam, Manudharma Shastra. The 10 commandments of Bible. Worship no other gods but me. Do not make any idols. Misuse my name. Keep the Sabbath day holy. Respect your father and mother. Do not kill anyone. Do not be immoral. Do not steal. Do not witness falsely against anyone. Do not desire anyone's thing. Same as this thing. So, this is the right way of doing. So, Nyaya or jurisprudence is the region of Rajas. But Dharma takes you to the next level of Dana, Daya, into the dimension of Sattva. So, in Nyaya, in Rajas also, it can be Tamo Rajas or Sattva Rajas. When you are earning the money, you may do it the tamasic way. Cut others, beat others, terrorize others, don't care for others, and make your money. Charvaka philosophy. Or you do the right royal way. So, business integrity, transparency. So, move from the Tamo Rajas to Sattva Rajas first. That's what is prescribed in this society, lawful and justice. Business integrity, bring that. So from selfishness, you are going towards reduced selfishness. And often somebody called as enlightened selfishness. So in Nyaya, always give and take. No? There is an incentive system. You don't do a good job, then you lose. And you do a good job, you get the incentives. That is the dimension of progress. But in Dharma, you go to the next level. Give and give and give and give. Dharma is the dimension of Sattva, without expectation of penance. So everything in life depends on how we do the action. Based on Tamas, Rajas, or Sattva, we have seen. So what is to be done in Karma Yoga is use Rajas to overcome the Tamas. One is desires. Increase your desire. I want to be a freedom to change. Karmane vate adhikaraha. Ma phaleshu kadachana. So you can choose a good action, you can choose a bad action. You can choose a tamasic or rajasic action, which can give you immediate money. You start producing some drugs and drug peddling, and you can make millions in no time. Are you going to go that? Choose the right action, the good action. Good for the society, good for you, good for everybody. Where we have the freedom. When you do everything, the result may be not be in your hands. No? The result may be very good, much better than what you have expected, or it may be collapse. You have done everything, but the business collapse. A COVID comes, and 3 years we lost everything. There's a big collapse. So result is not in our hands. But once the result comes, you have again a choice. Normally, when you get the result, which is very, very favorable to you, you all jump with joy, with excitement, jumping this. But when you don't get the thing, you are all depressed. This is a normal thing. There we have a choice to say that you maintain equanimity, samatvam yoga uchyate. This is what you have to do. So this karma yoga has to be practiced. That is what has been told here in the Shastras. But this has to be augmented and supported by gaining mastery over the mind. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to do these things. So that's what the fourth shloka tells us. Anejadekam manaso javiyaha naina deva apnuvan purvamarshata tadbhavato jnanatyete tishthat tasminnapo matarishva dadhati. So, anejatekam, that pure consciousness, it put that. It is unmoving. It is one. It is pure consciousness. It said quicker than the mind. This the deities have not reached. The flowing in front, standing still. It passes by the flowing others as Matarishwa praises. So look at in the physical world. The fastest is light. Nothing can go faster than light. 300,000 kilometers a second. 176 miles. And similarly, smallest temperature is minus 270 degrees. It's all bound by that today. So the physical world is made out of energy, electromagnetic spectrum. Prakriti, Jagat, is made out of mind. Light is the fastest in Annamaya Kosha, but mind is faster than light. So fastest in Jagat, as you go up and up, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnana, Anandamaya, Kushas, mind is the fastest. But Isha is faster than mind. That's pure consciousness. That's what he said. So as you go deeper and deeper from Annamaya to Pranamaya, the mind starts becoming faster and faster. That which is beyond the Panchakosha is the pure consciousness, which is fastest. Purusha, pure consciousness. Isha is faster than mind. Fastest beyond the 5 layers of consciousness. No? Even the Devatas could not reach. Nayena Deva Apnuvan Purvamarshata said. Because Isha is beyond the Manomaya Kosha. All the Devatas are essentially in the Manomaya Kosha. And Brahma Vishnu Maheshwara in the Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha. So Isha is beyond that. Therefore it is the fastest, it said. Even the Devatas could not reach Purusha, said. Patanjali says, Yogaha Chitta Vritti Nirodha, having 2 dimensions. One is to speed up the mind, faster mind, quicker mind, brilliant, faster, faster, faster. Another is to calm down the mind, silence the mind. Yoga is the skill to calm down the mind. Sorry, there are two wings. So ultimate is it is faster than the fastest, slower than the slowest. Tadejati, tannai taddure, tadvantike, tadantarasya sarvasya, tadu sarvasya vakyataha. You know, Nirodha is mastery, two wings of mastery. One is speeding up, another is slowing down the thoughts. Take a home message is ultimately reach Isha stage of infinite speed on one hand, the total silence on the other hand. But you have to go beyond the mind. That's the message. Then another dimension is contraction and expansion. Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan, it is said. It is smaller than the smallest and bigger than the biggest. That's the dimension. The grossest is the fastest and subtlest is the causal, slowest. Ultimately reach Isha stage. So here, Annamaya Kosha, you expand, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya Kosha, and go to infinite spatial. That is, Isha is biggest of the biggest. That is the thing. Then it is smallest of the smallest. From Annamaya Kosha, Annamaya Kosha, I come down to Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha, becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. Smallest of the smallest. So both these dimensions are brought forth in that. So Patanjali talks about in the 40th Sutra, Paramana Paramam Hatvantasya Vashikaraha. The mastery, as you go higher and higher, extends from the finest atom to the greatest infinity. So by practices, yogi acquires any siddhis he wants from the smallest to the largest. In this sutra, Patanjali is implicating the possibilities of siddhis, like Hanuman. He was able to make his body smaller and smallest and want to make it bigger and bigger. Siddhis, Anima and Mahima, I mentioned. How to get to these layers of samadhi for siddhis? Purification of the chitta in all dimensions have to come. Pramana, Vipare, Vikalpa, Nidra, Sprutayaha. Everything should be purified and go. How to get to these levels? Purification of the chitta. Ultimately, relinquish all siddhis in the end. Say, results of purification by any one or more of these have to be done by any of the four streams. Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. Having said that, Upanishad tells what will be the set of qualities that the people get when they go higher and higher. When you are tuned to that infinite consciousness, what are the qualities? Yasto sarvani bhutani atmanyeva anupashyate sarva bhuteshu chatmanam tato na vijugupsate. He who sees everything in himself and himself in everything. There is no hate, there is no dvesha. Universal brotherhood start coming up because he stays the same thing. Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva bhut vijanataha tatra gomoha kashokaha ekatvam anupashyataha. Further thing. For example, quantum physicists understand everything is nothing but energy, energy, energy. So he never discards anything as anything. Everything has got energy. Similarly here, when a person knows that he himself has become everything, and he knows that the oneness of things, that everything is that pure consciousness, how can he hate anything? How can we have dimensions? That he talks. Next, who am I? Who are we? Who is Isha? Has been talked about. Saparyagat Shukram Akayam Abranam Asna Viragam Shuddham Apapa Vidham Kavihi Manishi Paribhuhu Swayambhuhu. 11 qualities talks about Isha. Yatha Tathyato Arthan Vyadat Svatibhyas Samabhyaha is all pervasive. Isha is full of effulgence and radiance. It has no form. It has no defect. It is immaculate, untainted, all-knowing. Master of his own mind. The best of all, of independent origin, and eternal, all-pervasive. That is the pure consciousness. Having done that, having stayed in that thing, He dispenses everything. What does that mean? He, the Lord, allots duties for generation of the Jagat. This entire world is governed by the threefold law. That is Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. All the Srishti is done by Brahma. Everything is sustained by Vishnu and is destroyed by Ishvara. The trifold law applies to whole of Jagat. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, the Trinity. So first he has three trinities who start governing this creation. Then these people, the Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, they allow different duties to other gods and goddesses. Just like we have the Prime Minister, we have the Cabinet Ministry, and we have the State Ministry, and we have the DCs and others at several levels. Same thing happens here, and gods and goddesses take care of that. What is that Ishvara defined by Patanjali? Remember, Klesha, Karma, Vipakarshayehi, Aparamrishtaha, Purusha Visheshaha Ishvara is beyond affliction of life, actions and results, impressions produced by them. Beyond space, time and causation, beyond Klesha, Karma and Vipaka, affliction, action and change, etc. Niratashayam Sarvagnam Bhuvidu. They have got infinite knowledge. The knowledge of the whole creation is known. He knows the structure and laws governing the whole creation because he has created, knows past, present, and future. All knowledge of the whole creation beyond space and time. It is a state of infinite bliss, infinite power, infinite freedom that we all are. So he is the Guru of all the Gurus. Purveshamapi Guru, Kanena Anavachedat. He is the Adi Guru. Guru of all Gurus is that pure consciousness, Isha, as he is beyond time, past, present, future. And what is it called? Om. Tatsya Pranavaha. To reach Ishvara state, surrender to the Adi Guru. How? Japa Funkara. And you do the japa by having mental vibrations and physical vibrations, artha meaning brought forth. So having said that, you should gain mastery over the mind and using the japa and others as Patanjali has prescribed. Then it goes to the secrets of advanced yoga. In the 5 verses, he brings wonderful things about it. He talks about Vidya and Avidya. Vidya is the gnana, the right knowledge. Avidya is the wrong knowledge. And Vidya is the gnana, the theory dimension. Avidya is the practice aspect of it. Andhantama pravishanti ye avidyam upasate yavate tamo yavu vidyayagam rataha. Those who worship only karma. Naturally, they will not reach the highest. They will go into the limited perspective. Andhantama pravishanti, darkness they reach. But those who have the gnana, they may also end up with deeper darkness, it is said. Why? Vidya can take you to the deeper north, as it was. Why? You have only theoretical knowledge. You don't bring it into practice. That's what happens. So many people talk about the Advaita Vedanta in Kerala. A lot of people, they are the professors of all Advaita, but life is so full of challenges. Anybody comes from outside belonging to SC/ST class, they feel their life is ruined on that day. There are different packets for this reason. They thrash him out and say, worst thing has happened, Papa has come, and they go take a dip in river. Such deterioration of the Advaita. Talking big things and no action. Therefore the Upanishad says, a person who is only theoretical is worse than a person who does simple actions. I had one of my friends, he was very fond of asana. He collected all the asana, 1,600 asana, wrote a beautiful, booklet-like thing. It was published. He never did even one asana. This is how the deeper thing it says. So, what are the qualifications of a teacher, a guru? Very well versed in theoretical knowledge, but practical, very important. Shotriyam Brahmanishtam, it said. The goal of avidya and vidya are different. Anyadeva hurvidyaya Anyadahura vidyaya iti shushramadhiranam yena tadvichachakshire. The goals of each. Vidya can reach you to the moksha, but karma, all the Puramimamsa that we have, karma kanda, upasana kanda, they can reach you to monomaya kosha, to get all siddhis you can get. That's the maximum is the heaven that you can get, it is said. So therefore, what is to be done? You have to combine both theory and practice. Theory and practice. Vidyancha yastadvedo ubhayagum saha avidyaya mrutyam tirtva vidyaya amrutamashnute. Combining both is needed. Avidya, kami karma. It's necessary to shatter the tamas, to control the rajas, and to promote sattva, first of all. But no, you have to take it with mortality. So all of the streams of yoga need allotment of special time. Karma yoga doesn't need that which I mentioned. So combining vidya and avidya is mandatory for resolving all the conflicts that I was talking about. What are the conflicts? Ethics and ethics. Duty versus duty. Duty versus ethics. Why ethics? Why duty? Meaning of life. This is the opening scenario of Bhagavad Gita I mentioned to you this morning. Arjuna says, oh, shame on us. For the sake of kingdom and comforts and others, we are killing our own people. And bad, says. There's a conflict in his mind, whether duty is right or the compassion and love is better. So here it says, Vidyancha Vidyancha Ettadvedo Bhayagum Saha. So avidya is the karma, or the bad karma. Tamasic and tamo rajas. Good karmas are sattvic rajas. Ritualistic karmas prescribed. Vidya is the gnana. So avidya is the karma and vidya is the silence. Because you have to go beyond the gunas, move towards higher and higher levels of silence. So both appear to be different. Karma and akarma. How can you have two things together? Karmani akarmaya pashyet. Akarmani cha karmaya. It is said. So, another shloka in Gita. Yanisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sanyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sanisha pashyato mune. One who sees day in night and night in day is a wise man, said opposites. So, one who sees day in night and one who sees night and day is the wise, said. Two opposite things. How can you combine them? There are many critics. In UK, a big thesis came and said this whole Bhagavad Gita is a nonsense because it talks one thing and how can you have two things together in the question. So what is the secret? How to go beyond the gunas? First is, we must understand this entire life is not only action, action, action. It is not only karma. There is a karma knit in our life. How? When we sleep every day, you go into non-action, akarma. You're not doing anything. If you don't have a good sleep, how miserable will be the day, think? So, akarma is very necessary. It is charging the batteries. That's the secret one. So, give prominence to relaxation, give prominence to non-action, and that's very, very important. Oh, seeing non-action in action is very important. We all thought that sun is moving from the east to the west, But later on we understood, no, sun is not moving, sun is stationary and earth is moving. That's what you are seeing. So this is seeing non-action in action. So what is to be done? Attune to that self, perform all good action. So what it says is, tune yourself to that inner silence, calmness, peace inside, and do all actions. In mind there are two things, the gross and the subtle. The subtle mind or the inner mind has to be kept in silence, outside should be brought forth. So that is karmaniya karma, yogastha kuru karmani. So it's a very special way of doing action. It's called dual mode of operation, I call. Inner layer of the mind in silence, blissful awareness, and outside do any action. Any action you may be doing. Pashyan, Shunvan, Srushan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Sopan, Shasan, Pralapan, Visrujan, Grunhan, Unmishan, Nimishan, Napi, indriyartheshu vartanta iti dharayan. Krishna said, you may be seeing, walking, eating, jumping, and urinating, excreting, anything you are doing, do all things, but inner layer of the mind in complete silence. That is secret too. And we have the freedom, continuous monitoring happens there. So there is an interesting story which I came across. Arjuna was the greatest warrior. He was trained as the best warrior of the time. Used his bow, Gandiva, so dexterously. Looking down, he will be able to hit the parrot that you all know. Once he was walking in a village, and he came a village, and he saw that everywhere the arrow was exactly to the center. There was an arrow sprang in the center of every one of them. It was always in the bullseye. Arjuna noted in one thought that there was a wrapped around the corner of a shed, and small bullseye was correspondingly bent and made even tinier. And he tried. Took the Gandiva his back and strung it. He took an arrow from his quicker, could not do that. He missed. But it was such a narrow miss that the wind from its passing knocked the other arrow down. Arjuna knew this person who had done this is better than me. He's an extraordinary marksman, he thought. So next day he came to the village and wanted to find out who is that young lad who did this thing. The villager gladly pointed out to the bowman. He was a young lad who was there. And Arjuna went to him and asked, hey, how you have been able to shoot so accurately, so wonderfully. It's fantastic. Even I could not do that. You are better than me, he was telling. Then Arjuna says, I have practiced for years, but I cannot match your performance. He praised him. What did the boy say? Hey, it is very easy, very simple. Huh? So simple. What? He asked, shall I tell you the secret? Oh, yeah, sure. He says, first I shoot the arrow. Then I drew the target around it. This is a secret again. So, Isha is the covering. That you understand and do that. Isha vasyamidam sarvam. Envelope all your actions by Isha. That's the thing that comes up. Ramakrishna Paramam says, you may have a number of zeros, this is all karma. You add one, it has the value. Similarly in Vairagya, finite becomes infinite by dividing by any number. If the raga becomes zero, any number you have divided by zero becomes infinite. So that the Vairagya that comes. So therefore we have to incorporate this relaxation in all actions, tuning ourselves to the expansiveness itself. Then you have to recognize avidya in the vidya also. In the so-called silence, non-action, there is still action going on. That is secret thing we have to recognize. Akarmani karma pashet. You have got an atom. We thought the matter is all silent. It's all silent. But everybody knows today there are millions of molecules that are moving tremendously. In every molecule, the atoms are there. In every atom, there is electron, proton, neutrons, electron. And therefore, in the so-called silence, so-called akarma, so-called stationariness, there is tremendous action. Therefore, when the mind becomes silent, don't think that you have reached Kaivalya. Don't think that you have reached Isha state. There is a lot of samskaras which are there within us. It's called the prarabdha karma and sanchita karmas. They all have to be cleansed. They all show up as tamas, rajas, and sattva again. But the deeper layers of the mind, you go deeper and deeper, it says. So to go deeper and deeper into silence. That's why Patni talks about 8 types of samadhis. Samadhi itself is a big jump. It's a silence. Most people think samadhi is the end of the game. No, beyond that you have the higher dimension brought. So to expand and tune yourself, learn the art of bringing vidya, silence and relaxation. Lead a healthy life. So Karma Yoga takes you to this dimension. To resolve such conflicts, you have to have these 4 secrets. understanding that karma is important, building all actions in the dual mode operation, working in that silence and doing action, and then understanding that even in that silence there is the karma which had to be cleansed, and in the fourth level you become master. And that is the one that takes you to the moksha has been brought forth so beautifully in this beautiful verse of Ishavasya. Action in total attunement is the fourth secret. So the laws are understood by the highest. That's understood. And in the next five lokas, again, four lokas, talks about in this Vidya and Avidya have done that. Then in the next loka we go into the Sambhuti and Vinasha. The path of bhakti is brought forth. Ishvara. Ishvara is the Adi Guru, Guru of all Gurus. So he is beyond space-time causation. Andhantam pravishanti ye asambhuti mupasate tato bhuya ivate tamoyavu sambhutyagum rataha. Sambhuti is Daivi Sampat. All good qualities, sattvic action. Asambhuti is the Vinasha, Asuri Sampat. Daivi Sampat and Asuri Sampat. These are the two things talked about. What are Daivi Sampat? Krishna has told in the Bhakti Yoga. Teja Kshama Dhuti Chaucham Adroho Nati Manita. These are all the wonderful qualities, divine virtues that we have. Full of effulgence and Kshama and Dhruti, steadfastness, Shaucham, Adroho, non-cheating, Nati Manita. Whereas Asuri Sampat, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Padamatsarya. And the three types of ahankara that comes, Dambha, Darpa, Bhimana, all that thing. So, why do you call them as good and bad? Daivi Sampad Vimokshaya, Nibandhaya Apatsimata. All Asambhuti is going to take you down, Sambhuti is going to take you to the moksha, it is said. So, we have the choice either to go this way or go this way. Swami Vivekananda says, man is the maker of his own destiny. Sambhuti, compared to Sambhuti, takes you to darkness. So, when you do the Asambhuti, the worship of the negative forces, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Matsarya, Asuri Sampat, it will take you to darkness, obvious. But Sambhuti also can take you to the higher darkness. Why? Fanaticism. Fanaticism can take you to deeper darkness, which is done. Sambhuti. Therefore, Bhakti Yoga has brought Ishvara Pranidhana, Bhakti dimension have to come. Surrender is the key in Bhakti. It deals with ego. The root cause is Asuri Sampat. You have to overcome that. Surrender to whom? To your Ishta Devata. So, what do the Tamasic? The Tamasic people, their worship is celestial gods and goddesses by the Sattvic people, Yakshas and Rakshasas. Sambhuti can take you to the moksha. Asambhuti takes you to bondage or darkness. So therefore worship Isha. He is the Adi Guru, Guru of all Gurus, it is said. So what is to be done? Don't neglect the Asambhuti also. Sambhuti and Asambhuti should be brought together. Why? Because Asambhuti worship, you can overcome the tamas. From there you go to the sattva. Sattvic worship to overcome fanaticism and selfishness. So use Sambhuti to reach immortality, it has been said. Having said that, now we pray. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya apihitam mukham tattvam poshan apavruna satya dharmaya drishtaye. The entrance of truth, pure consciousness, ultimate reality, Isha, is covered by a golden vessel. What is that golden vessel? It is all wonderful comfort, sense pleasures, and others. So, oh son, please overcome that covering so that I can reach the thing. All streams of yoga can purify us and we can go to advanced levels. Then as you start going to advanced levels more and more, you start getting different siddhis. It is like a golden vessel of attraction and attachment. But that also has to be relinquished, it says. So we worship Lord Pushan, Sun God. Please uncover the wheel of attractions and attachment and provided the real vairagya to realize the truth and the reality, to merge with Isha. Pariprashna. pranipata, surrender, surrender, surrender is the quality of the student. So in this 16th verse it said, Oshanne karshe yamasurya prajapatya vyuharashmin samuha tejaha yatte rupam kalyanatamam tatte pashyami yo savasa purusha sohamasmi said. So as you start going and unveil that wonderful golden orb, you overcome that, then you reach that highest level of Purusha, understand I am that ultimate reality. That's what you say in our Shanti mantra. Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityohoma Amrutangamaya. That is peace, peace, peace dimension. The solar orbit discloses the truth that Brahman is Surya himself, effulgence. Then when you reach, how does a person leave his body? वायुरनिरमृतमध्येदं भस्मान्तगुं शरीरम् ॐ क्रतोस्मर कृतज्ञस्मर क्रतोस्मर कृतज्ञस्मर. Prana melt into that all-pervading air. The eternal Sutratman, Mukhya Prana, and let this body be burned by fire to ashes. O mind, remember, remember Om, 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 continuously. Now, as I am dying, let my prana leave the confinement within this body and joining the all-pervading godly form of air. Sutratman, that's put. So, Kratosmara, meaning, O mind, whose characteristic is volition. Remember, Om, Om, Om. Om chanting even in the time of death, in the end, will lead us to Isha. The mind continuously remembering the Om and its meaning and feeling again and again. अग्नेनय सुपथाराये अस्मान् विश्वानि देव वयुनानि विद्वान् योध्यस्मज्जुहुराणमेनः ओष्टान्ते नम मुक्तिं विधेम. O Agni, please lead us by the good path, that the Uttarayana. Vishma has to wait for the Uttarayana to come, to leave his body to reach ultimate reality. To the enjoyment of fruits of our deeds, knowing, O God, all our deeds, remove the sin of deceit from us. So, Patanjali says in the final thing, Tasyapi nirodhe, sarva nirodhat, nirbija samadhihi. It says, all the siddhis also have to relinquish, have to overcome the dimension. Leave the prana which moves from Annamaya kosha to other kosha. So at the time of death, there are two types of death that people take. One is they leave the physical body, go into the pranamaya kosha, manomaya, vijnana, anandamaya kosha, and ultimately go to Isha. This is one way. So Swami Vivekananda sat in the deep meditation at the end and then left this body and went out. There are great seers like this thing. That Gondavadi Maharaj, a great bhakta, he also sat and continuously left his body consciously. This is one way of doing it. There is another way of doing it, in which, the Annamaya Kosha is converted into Pranamaya Kosha, converted into Manomaya Kosha. Shankaracharya did. He went, his physical body just vanished. Ramanigam Swamigal. When he was available, he was able to transform the physical body into the Pranamaya Kosha. People wanted to take photographs, but they could take only his clothes, nothing came off. So this is another way of doing it. Convert Annamaya Kosha to Pranamaya, Pranamaya to Manomaya, Manomaya to Vijnanamaya and Anandamaya Kosha and merge with the ultimate. These are the two ways by which the great masters leave their body and reach the highest. Finally, merging with the ultimate Isha. This is the whole dimension brought out so wonderfully in the S-VYASA Upanishad, and this is the whole thing. Pure consciousness Isha. From there the Jagat comes and it gets, faster and faster and faster and faster, becomes smaller and smaller and smaller, like a cone, becomes a Jagat. And it's the grossest and the fastest. So this is called prasava. That's called creation. Satapotapyata, satapastaptva idagum sarvamachrujata, akashad vayoho, vayoragnihi agnirapahadvya prithvi, prithivyam oshadayaha, oshadibhyo annat purushaha. It is said. Then what we have to do? We have to go back. It's called Pratiprasava. Move from tamas to rajas, rajas to sattva, go beyond. And more freedom. Annamaya kocha to pranamaya, manomaya, vijnana, anandamaya kocha, and merchant ultimate. This is the meaning of life. This is the goal of life. When we start doing that, we are manifesting more and more of the divinity. What happens when you go towards this thing? You become happier day by day, day by day, day by day. Wonderful bliss start coming up. And you become healthier and healthier. And you become full of knowledge, more and more knowledge, power, freedom, all start emerging. And this is the whole process of this thing, this or the whole of freedom. You become freer more and more. When in the prasava, you are losing your freedom. When you go back, your freedom is going to increase and become infinite freedom, infinite bliss, infinite knowledge. When you go to the ultimate, that the ultimate dimension. So that is the Purna, that the ultimate reality, and this is the whole process. The meaning of life is we all have come down and we have to transform ourselves from tamas, reduction of tamas, control of rajas, and more of sattva, and go beyond the gunas through the secrets that have been brought forth in Karma Yoga, and that is a wonderful thing that S-VYASA has given us. Ultimately, we need that Shanti, Shanti inside, Shanti outside, Shanti throughout the universe and the whole thing. That's put out. That is the S-VYASA Upanishad. With that, we close this session with Shanti Mantra. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Yeah. So there are some questions I will see. As we explained, as one goes up, mind starts becoming faster and faster. One has to eventually go beyond the mind. Is the speed a sign of upcoming quantum jump towards the next stage of silence? Yes. When you go from one level to the other level, there's a quantum jump, just like in the physical world, the mind jumps from one level to the other through the samadhi. Then mind has the capacity to speed up, become much, much faster. At the same time, it has the capacity to remain calm and silent also. If there are impurities in the body or for any reason, can that speed cause disturbances in a sadhaka? Yes. When there are impurities, the speed can make ourselves hypersensitive and then cause the problem. Speed alone is good, but if the purity doesn't go with that, expansion doesn't occur with that, then you are complaining, then you get into the problem of hypersensitivity and you may start getting into more problems. You know. Normally, when you plot that speed, the speed is going to increase your efficiency. Up to a certain level, it starts coming down. Speed is going to make you more and more inefficient. Therefore, what is to be done at that level? You have to expand. When you expand, then you can go to the higher speed. Expansion from Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya courses, expand, then you can have higher speed. If you don't expand, remain only in Annamaya kosha, it will cause you hypersensitivity. This is what is happening to most of the corporates and executives. They are suffering from various entities. Therefore, speed alone is not good. Along with that, if the expansion takes place, it is right. Similarly, slowing down is good, how to do. But if you go into tamas, then it is taking you down the drain. You have to do that. Those aspects. Good question. Can speed also be characterized with such issues as with slowness being the other opposite and relaxation? Can you please speak on the speed factor in a practitioner? As I said, right. When you speed up, you must also expand. Because you slow down, also you should expand. If you don't do that, then they'll not be good. Respected Guruji, how I know about Isha? Devata, no? About Ishtadevata, correct. Ishtadevata, normally in our earlier times there used to be gurus who could find out what is your dimension and they can tell you. But today we don't have probably such great masters. Therefore, we have to find out what you want to become. You want to become very rich, millionaire, billionaire, Lakshmi is your Ashtadhya. You want to be full of knowledge, power, and other things. Creativity, innovation, Saraswati. You want to be physically very strong, Hanuman. You want to be ideal human being, Sri Rama. And perfect human being, Krishna Bhagavan. Choose any, hundreds and gods and goddesses. And embodiment of love, Christ. Embodiment of service, maybe Muhammad. Choose any one of them. Some people believe, I don't believe in God or God. Doesn't matter. Who is your role model? Your father, mother, grandfather, grandmother, your professor, teacher, researcher, engineer. Choose any one of them. So that's how you have the Ishtadevata. And start contemplating on that. Go on repeating. Tad-japaha, tadartha bhavanam. Then it takes in it. Okay, with those questions, you have anything else? Thank you all. With that, we complete our discussion about the S-VYASA Upanishad, how it has brought the two dimensions of search for reality, search for happiness, and how we have to reach that by the Karma Yoga, also embellished with the Bhakti Yoga dimension. So, thank you all very much for your presence, and I wish you all the best. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Speak loudly.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, you told us that even though there are many people in the
हाँ
society
गुरुजी धन्यवाद.
who do a lot of good things, they suffer. So you didn't tell them survive.
Because they are only in the sattva level, they have not gone beyond that. Attachment to sattva also could bring you to tensions and stresses.